Our today's subtopic is on competition for oxygen, redox reactions, and methods of gas collection. We start by defining reduction. It is the removal of oxygen from a substance, while oxidation is the addition of oxygen to a substance. Redox reactions involve a reaction whereby both reduction and oxidation take place at the same time. For example, magnesium plus copper 2 oxide gives us magnesium oxide plus copper. Now, magnesium being more reactive than copper removes oxygen from it. Hence, magnesium is oxidized while copper is reduced. That is an example of a redox reaction. Magnesium is the reducing agent while copper is the oxidizing agent. Now, a substance to which oxygen is added is said to be oxidized, while a substance to which oxygen is removed is said to be reduced. Applications of redox reactions. They are applicable in the extraction of metals from their ores using carbon and carbon 2 oxide as the reducing agents. A more reactive element removes oxygen from a less reactive element, but a less reactive element cannot remove oxygen from a more reactive element. An example is where copper 2 oxide reacts with magnesium to form magnesium oxide plus copper. So reduction has taken place whereby copper 2 oxide is reduced to copper metal, and the color changes from black to brown. At the same time, magnesium, which is gray in color, is oxidized to magnesium oxide, which is a white solid or a white ash. So that diagram shows an example of a redox reaction between copper 2 oxide and magnesium, whereby the copper 2 oxide is the oxidizing agent, while magnesium metal is the reducing agent. Uses of oxygen gas. When it is enriched with air, it is used in hospitals by patients with breathing difficulties. When it is mixed with helium, it is used by mountain climbers. Oxygen is used to burn fuels. Its mixture with acetylene burns to produce a very hot flame used in the welding and cutting of metals. During steel making, it is used to remove iron impurities. It is also used as one of the reactants in fuel cells. Oxygen is also used together with hydrogen to form the oxyhydrogen flame, which is used in welding. Now let's look now at methods of gas collection. We have several methods of collecting gases, and we are going to look at each one of them at a time. So, gases are collected by different methods depending on the properties of the gases. These properties include solubility, melting and boiling points, density, volatility, and toxicity, and also the purity of the gas required. Now, the first method of gas collection we are going to look at is downwards delivery or upwards displacement of air. This method is used to collect gases that are denser than air and not required pure, as may contain air. An example is carbon 4 oxide, chlorine gas, and sulfur 4 oxide gas. The method is as shown in the next slide. Downward displacement of air, that is over water. This method is used to collect gas that is either slightly soluble or insoluble in water, and the gas is not required dry. An example is oxygen, nitrogen, nitrogen 1 oxide, and nitrogen 2 oxide gases. The method is as shown in the next slide. The next method of collection is upwards delivery or downwards displacement of air. This method is used to collect a gas that is less dense than air and not required pure because it mixes with air, and an example of such a gas is hydrogen gas, ammonia gas, and methane gas. There is collection of a gas by liquefaction. This is used to collect a gas that is easily liquefied, for example nitrogen 4 oxide. We also have collection of gases by freezing. This method is used to collect gases that solidify when cooled, for example sulfur 4 oxide. Then we have the use of a syringe. This method is used if the gas is required pure, and also for gases that have almost the same density as air, for example carbon 2 oxide. So the following diagrams show the main methods of gas collections, starting with downwards delivery, which is upwards displacement of air, followed by upwards delivery, which is downward displacement of air. Then lastly we have the overwater method of collection as shown in the diagram.